So.
Okay, John, we're back now with part 2.
Yeah, so we're going to start with the C++11 features. So we used a good few different pieces of C++11. One of the first things we did was the initializer list.
We'll just jump around.
We're just
going to jump around to everywhere where we've commented C++11.
Yeah,
and then we'll just talk about it as we find them.
We used auto a little bit. We didn't actually use it that often. It seems like a lot of people used it everywhere, but we just didn't really care much for it.
Yeah, the advantage we were thinking of using it was that we didn't have to type out this big long iterator thing.
Yeah.
But we ended up using the
for each.
The range loops quite a lot, so there was no need to type out that big long iterator.
Yeah, or class thing for each loops. Yeah, and then as well, one of the times we tried to use auto was making it a const or something, and then
we couldn't then change it.
Actually change the iterator. It was causing problems. I think there is a way to change that, but it seems like the for each loop kind of covers it in nearly every case there, and then there was nowhere else that you really needed to use auto. It wasn't really. I don't know. It's just kind of.
Yeah.
So jump to the
next thing.
So yeah, we used null pointers for checking if the player doesn't have a weapon. So whenever it calls that method, it will always return a weapon. But if it's a null pointer, it means they don't have one.
So if a player unequips their weapon, this stuff obviously won't happen. And if this method was called and a player didn't have a weapon equipped, that would crash the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
So that's why that works there. Also, let's actually scroll down here. What's happening here is you might have seen it during the demonstration. Is our stat printout also prints out your weapon bonus, or your armor bonus, alongside it in a nice cyan blue color.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
So the next one.
Yeah, no more null pointers there. Yeah, that's like
so in the a lot for checking stuff like that there.
In the player attack, you'll see probably a lot of our code is done in this function. Yeah. A lot of gameplay stuff anyway.
Yeah, so there's just an example of a for each loop. I think we've used loads of them. It's one of many examples. Yeah, the for each loop's very useful.
Yeah, very handy.
Yeah. So next one. Yeah, so regex we used it to. We used it in the login and the chat to filter out bad words, and then for the login it just sort of fits the requirements. I think.
So this is the regex for bad words.
Yeah, we didn't include that many, although there's probably still right bit there, but
like 10, 12 or something like that. Then until you actually go to the regex.
Okay, so this is in the acceptable name. It'll check. So we have the regex there. And it has it requires a letter for the first one, and then any alphanumeric character, and then an underscore and a dash for the rest of the characters, and it has to be a minimum of 3 and a max of 16 for the username. So it's pretty kind of standard stuff. This iCase thing in the regex it makes it case insensitive. I don't think it really matters since everything gets lowercase anyway. But we just thought we'd include it because it seemed useful.
Oh, well, this is this is actually our little Easter egg we put in.
Yeah, everybody seems to be fond of their pseudo puns, so you get an extra little congratulations whenever you log in with a pseudonym, as everyone's called them. So on to the next one. Yes, that's just more regex. Just the same place.
Top there.
Yeah, so that's for.
This is where we actually use the regex to replace the bad words with the censor text.
Yeah,
which was
so
up above there. It was square brackets with redacted inside it.
Yeah, so any word that is in the bad words regex will be replaced with redacted. So it's just a simple kind of way to do it. Yeah, so that's auto.
Start again. So change the search.
Oh yeah, so okay, so just go to the timer or the chrono class. Yeah, so our timer is the next one. Oh yeah, okay, right. Yeah, so we made a it's supposed to be me that made this. Yeah, so you know that I wasn't able to run the project at any stage, but the way I made this was I made a new project and just went in and made the timer class and like tested it. I was using it in the original simple mode, so I was able to compare it to the basic lib time that was there as well, just to make sure that everything was working the same. So I made it, and then I sent it on over to Brian, and that's how it worked. So pretty much just use Chrono to kind of replicate the class that was there. Like, I tried to stick to the same names and stuff, so that it was easier to replace. So this is like the, the main function here is the now, so it gets using a steady clock, because I think there's people saying there's issues with the high precision clock, and then the system clock can be edited and stuff, so steady clock's probably the most reliable. So it does the count since the epoch, and then it divides it by whatever that be, 100,000 or something, or a million, so that it be saved in nanoseconds for Chrono. So I just change it back to milliseconds, and then so if I jump into one of these, isn't it?
You always do.
I would never do that, because I don't have F12 in mine. I hold function F12 to jump into things for mine, and that's what I'm used to.
Why? What? Visual Studio is just F12.
Yeah, but if I press F12 on mine, it'll just make the screen brighter. Just go, fuck's sake.
Start that out again.
Yeah.
Does F12 do? Sleep. So there's some subject. Okay, we're still going.
Still going. Good.
Don't know how much you're after getting there, but we accidentally turned the laptop into sleep mode.
Yep. I'm used to pressing function F12. Brian just has to press F12. Sleep time.
Anyway, here we are.
Yeah. So it just uses the now, and it'll subtract the init time, which is set up to be now whenever the timer is instantiated. So it'll subtract the time to get whatever the difference is, and then have that start time in there, so that it's basically working the same way as the basic lib time was, which is whenever you're resetting it, you can put in the time that is loaded in from file, so that you maintain your server time or whatever it is, but probably not really necessary. It's just kind of an add-on thing. So yeah, then we have the printout is basically the same again.
Yeah, so we just kind of replicated everything that was in the timer beforehand.
As well for that the timestamp here, I wrote it out and I explained it in the comments, but I tried to go around a heap of different ways of doing it. Like, I tried to look up how to actually use Chrono for doing date and time and stuff, but I pretty much came full circle back around to how it was working, which was with the local time S and the STRFT time or whatever. So that's Chrono. Then go to the
random we done as well.
Yeah, so this is using my it's using the RNG that I made in second year. It's using the Mersenne Twister thingy or whatever for generating a random number, and you just taking a min and a max. So yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So it's the random class that came in with C++11. I think that's pretty much everything in
C++11. Yeah.
C++11. Yeah, it's like initial. Oh yeah, the initialize the list in the command structure. Yeah. So go up to the top of it. Just So this the constructor used to be like 200 lines or something, but now it's only like whatever, less than 60.
40 lines for the actual.
Yeah, like it just saves a lot of space, and I think it's a lot quicker and better or whatever with the initializer list. It's just much more robust and stuff.
Yeah, so you just like set up an initializer list for each of the
command lists,
and then just in another initializer list for the actual vector of those lists. Just drop in each list
in the order. Yeah, so it's pretty
handy. Yeah, we have everything alphabetized as well. From put north, south, east, and west up at the top.
Yeah,
it's alphabetized after that, and then it's alphabetized guard and admin commands afterwards again.
Yes, I think that pretty much covers it for C++ 11. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about our process, which is we're using version control, using Git and Bitbucket. So most of the commits were obviously coming from Brian.
So loaded up, yeah.
Is it?
Trying to get those add-ons on time.
The graphs and stuff. Yeah. So most of the commits are from Brian because I wasn't able to run the code and stuff on my machine, which I fixed, and it instantly broke again about 3 or 4 times. I don't know what it was. I still don't really know, but we worked around it. So as well we used is the Trello board open? Yeah, so we were using this Trello board. Go over this show menu thing. And then more, and then archived items. So yeah, we were just archiving stuff as we went. So
yeah, this is just basically every task that we've completed.
Yeah, well, we started using the Trello board, but probably not from the very start. I'd say it was about halfway through or so. But yeah, like we just have everything kind of. Yeah, we're using it just like Scrum, just kind of to keep us focused, and to any ideas we ever came up with, we just wrote down. So we have this kind of we'd like to do it sort of list, and then we have the things that we'd prefer to have done and just need done, and things we're kind of working on at the minute. So it's just kind of helped a lot to keep on track of stuff, and then we came across to just write down some free edit sort of thing.
Yeah, like we had lots of stuff in this list, and whenever we're working on it, then we just take it over here, and once it's finished in this list, we're just done with it then.
Yeah, it's just archived then.
It's just a nice simple process to keep us ticking.
We were using the Hangouts for like just nearly all the time. Like any work being done, we were just together in Hangouts, and if we weren't, meant that we were probably in college working together. So it's kind of the way it went. I made the command structure at the very start, but then it kind of changed over time. So I wouldn't even really like to try and claim it completely as my own. And then
yeah, I think like the only bit of separation like that you could claim for your own is the chrono timer, and like as you were doing that, I worked on the logs and reports and banning and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like I would definitely say it's a 50-50 split. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, so Brian was kind of just for a little while there. I was kind of more on the networking side, and I was more on the C++ 11 side. But like we were still doing all of that in Hangouts together, and if either one of us was ever stuck, we'd swap over and help anyway. So it's like we've been. This is kind of how I've worked in a lot of projects before, kind of sitting down and pair program and stuff. So
yeah, you kind of like anytime you come up against a problem with 2 minds to solve it.
Like,
generally get stuff done. You know, even though we've only like one kind of bit of code being typed at a time, I think it gets done better and it gets done quicker, and we've got a good consistency throughout because of it.
Definitely.
It just works well for us anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of how we'll work. It's just how it is. Should we go into gameplay, or should we just save that for a second?
We'll save it now. We've only 2 minutes left, so.
Yeah, so leave the last screencast for